Because they're so deep, it's hard when you're doing the podcast to sit that far back, right? Because you don't want to sit that far back. At least 3 people that week, because I had all my big meetings that week, that Wednesday, meet with all the different ministry teams. Every single meeting, every single time,
they all
somebody
hated
said, "These chairs are so big." I mean, 3 of the ladies, feet aren't even on the, they're not even. They're like, this is like it's a cold Sunday afternoon, cuddle up with a thing of hot chocolate kind of a chair, right, with a blanket. It's not a let's do work chair.
That's true.
It's not a.
That's very true. It is. Let's get
in this podcast kind of chair.
Yeah. Is this a little bit better?
This is my speed here.
Welcome to the Dill family basement. Also the Casa de Veltcamp.
The ventriloquimp.
The ventriloquimp.
Sam ventriloquimp. Hey, talk about that for a sec.
Come on, man.
Hey, you guys may not know this, but when did his internship start? When did Sam's internship?
So he started in June.
Residency.
Yeah, residency. He started in June of last year.
So the Dill household's been hosting. We have a residency program at Rocky, 2-year residency program. Those young bucks can come in.
This is really nice.
It's fantastic, dude. It's so much better.
I don't know that I've ever been this comfortable.
It's so much better.
Well, okay.
Yeah. This might be in my office.
Okay.
Anyways.
It would fit in your office.
Yeah, it would. You've been hosting him. He's been living here.
Yep.
Which I was really proud of you and Josie to do that, because that's a big undertaking. Having somebody live in your place. But you got the nice finished basement here. He's down here.
We do. Yeah, he's kind of got his own little oasis to himself. But unless we're down here recording a podcast.
Cool? You know what's cool?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, you've got 3 kids.
This is true.
He's almost like one of your kids.
Ooh.
And not in a weird way. Yeah, but he's like part of your fam.
He's definitely part of the fam.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely
part of your fam.
Yeah, kind of like Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Elise, she's kind of going through this stage right now where she just likes to hand everybody a weird nickname.
What's he got?
She's been calling me Doodah, by the way.
Okay.
I knew you were curious, so I wanted to start with that.
I'll give her my nickname for you.
Oh, good.
Tiny chest.
And we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Tiny chest. It just won't go away. Won't die. Sammy. She calls him. She said,
"Perfect.
My Sammy.
My Sammy. Sammy Watkins."
Yeah, and Samuel he rolls with it, man. He is part of the family, though. That's just the truth. He just kind of. In fact. Well, I don't know. We were going somewhere last week for the Super Bowl, hang out with some peeps, you guys included. And Josie goes, "Will Samuel come?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so. You think he's going to meet us over there?" And she's like, "Oh, that's great." And she goes, "I don't really know if he was invited." And I said, "Yeah, we were invited, so he was invited."
That's what I'm saying. He's like part of your family.
If you invite the Dills, like...
So maybe more of like an uncle role.
I think, yeah.
He's the poor uncle. Doesn't have anywhere to live, so he came to live in your basement.
Poor uncle. I'm going to tell you,
Uncle Sammy.
That dude works.
Yeah.
That dude puts in some work.
I think he works too much. I've told him he works too much.
I have to.
He doesn't listen to me.
He does not listen to me either.
But let me tell you
maybe I'm more like a dad.
But this is what happened now.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, he's got the interest of a young lady.
I think we need to save that for a future podcast.
Oh, for sure. But now the boy, he's going to have to get some money. Dates.
I think he's got some money.
Well,
we could ask him if he comes stomping down here.
Well, I'll say this. He hasn't bought me lunch, so I don't know how much money he's got.
I think that's why he's got money, is because he ain't buying us lunch.
Brilliant. Well done, Sam.
Yeah, that is well done.
We need to have Okay, so I was talking to another one of our residents. You know what we should do? A residency podcast.
That could get interesting.
Invite
for sure.
Some of the residents on.
What would we talk about with the residents?
Who knows? But it would be good.
Because the residents that I know, we've got a wide array of personalities there. It could go real wild real quick.
Yeah. That's okay.
Okay. I'm in for it.
Future church leaders might as well hear what we got coming.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So I am so comfortable right now. Last week, I was so uncomfortable because we tried to do that one chip challenge. That was gross. This week, I couldn't be more comfortable.
I've had several people talk to me about it.
Yeah.
First of all, Brock.
I stopped him on Sunday.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah.
Brock, we love you.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry. I will say, when I watched that episode, I don't remember any of it. Okay? I don't know where I was. I don't remember any of it. I watched it for the first time as if it wasn't even me. It was a weird
What did your mom
experience.
say?
She said, you were out of it. You kept saying the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
About the side of my tongue. She goes, you just kept repeating yourself over and over again.
You were out
and I go,
of it.
there's 15 minutes of that podcast. I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
When I was watching it, it was as if I was watching
Favorite part was when you realized your shirt was unbuttoned.
I didn't.
You were like,
I was taking off my shirt.
What did I do?
I was a mess, dude.
That was awesome.
Now, we don't have to get into graphic detail. Okay?
Mm-hmm. For everybody that's wondering, yes, it did burn just as much.
On the way out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That right there makes me not want to do it.
Oh, for sure. If you'd asked me that night again, because I was even talking about...
And it was half a chip.
I know, but I was even saying, we should do the one... We should get our wives on here, do the one chip challenge again.
Yeah, you were all back in on it by the end of the episode.
Because it's 30 mints of pain, but then it you know...
Yeah,
but I'm telling you,
fun.
What I experienced that next morning...
I laugh at the text messages we traded.
I texted you my favorite text of the month. I just I was hurting.
Yep.
I texted you just to check in, and your text was instant. What you said was instant regret.
Instant regret.
And I'm telling you, that's the thing that put me over the top. That if I knew what was going to happen that next morning, I would not have done the one chip challenge. No. And I think it hits people differently.
Probably.
Now, let me just say this too.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a lot of crap from people because of how cool you played it. And let me tell you what, because I watched it too.
Yeah.
You were doing it you were doing that in spite of me.
I was. Yeah.
You were hurting. But in spite of me, you tried to act like you just hit a freaking Dorito chip, not the hottest thing you've ever had in your mouth.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I went in there and I said I will not let Matt Cody be tougher than I am on this. Just wouldn't happen.
I mean, I talked 3 or 4 people this week.
Yeah.
Just on me, dude.
As they should be.
Maybe you should be called the little pup now.
No.
Maybe.
The shoe fits.
Touche, Dill. Touche.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, I feel like if I would have known that you were going to do that, I would have tried to man up and match it, but I didn't know that.
You had no idea.
I'm over here just being me.
Well, now I feel like you just called me fake, and that's not true.
But were you hurting?
I don't think I was hurting. It was hot. Okay, I'm not going to shirk around that. It was hot.
It's hot enough that you're not going to do it again.
I'm not going to do it again. I didn't want to do it in the first place.
Right.
All right. Just to be clear, I didn't want to do it in the first place.
I want to do it again just because I'm excited to see. I want to do it with other people because I know what's coming, and I want to see how other people react to it.
I would gladly eat a bag of Doritos while you guys have to chip. Like, I'm in for that, and then I could just keep talking about things, checking on you guys, make sure you're all right. We could do some of that.
It was intense.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Oof,
if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Yep.
You definitely, well done. I mean, you played it well,
Thanks.
Way better than me.
Appreciate you.
I'll try to do better next time.
That's okay. Mr. Samuel.
We were just talking about you.
Look.
We were just talking about you.
Yep. We got our fireplace going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yes, we are.
Very cozy.
Yeah, I appreciate you recognizing
We
that.
knew you were coming down, so it's no big deal.
Yeah. Josie said I might want to hang a sign up on the door that said recording or something. So I said, I can't keep Sam out of his house.
You're going to be on a future podcast?
You're coming on, buddy.
Why?
I don't think I'm the right fit.
Yes, you are.
Well.
I mean, we need to work on your confidence a little bit, but you are the right fit.
I left a little surprise in your bedroom. You let me know when you find it. You let me know when you find it.
Oh, no.
You let me know when you find it.
Don't hold me responsible for any of this.
Just for you, buddy.
All right, let's get into some things here. So, first of all, what?
Hit them with the sponsor.
A Cake Come True
Hit
continues to sponsor us. Hey, guys, listen. I'm not sure that we are giving Lisa and her stuff a fair shake here.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know that we've been bombarding her like I think the Bake the Cake Nation can do.
I know at least 2 people. Well, here's the thing. a couple of people have gone, but they're like, "Oh, I forgot to tell them about Bake the Cake."
All right. So that's key.
Shout out Heather Runquist was there today. Gave Bake the Cake shout out.
Okay. So here's the deal.
I'm going this week.
We've got to figure out. We're gonna have to confirm what actually you get for mentioning Bake the Cake. But go to A Cake Come True. It's here in the Firestone area. It's up at Highway 119 and I-25. It's tucked in there by the Starbucks. So you can grab a coffee. But instead of grabbing a cake pop, go next door and get a cupcake.
What do you mean? Oh, Starbucks.
Starbucks. You get coffee.
You're sticking to the Starbucks.
Well,
You
yeah.
get a
but
coffee at Starbucks, and
if
then
you
go
gave
to,
me a cake pop or a cupcake, I'd want one of
Forget
Lisa's.
the cake pop, man.
Get a cupcake at A Cake Come
Forget
True.
the cake pop.
All right, Lisa's doing some great stuff.
Dude, okay,
Go mention. But you heard about her on Bake the Cake.
Yeah. Now listen.
Yeah.
As she's doing, I think, cupcakes that go along with Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, really?
That's what I saw on Instagram.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah.
Because I get my cheat day this weekend,
There you
and
go.
I'm going to have one of them cupcakes.
There you go. Yeah, they are fantastic. I've had them, and we took the kids in there once. Ended up getting 6 cupcakes, and they're big cupcakes.
They look delicious.
They're so good. Yeah, Lisa does great work at A Cake Come True.
Somebody bought
So.
my wife one this week and brought it home.
Wow.
Very cool, very nice design on the box and all that. And she gave me. I was gonna maybe
Yeah.
take a bite.
Okay.
I got very strict instructions not to do that
Yeah. Why would you bite into somebody else's cupcake?
because I
bro?
was like, "Oh, that's a sponsor for Bake the Cake. I need to try out the cupcake." And my
she
wife said,
"Get your own."
"She said, try,
Come on, fool.
try me, try and take a bite."
Bet.
Bet it didn't get one bite of that thing.
That's all right.
So
Well, hey, cheat day coming up, so you can go grab
Coming.
one. And for everybody who doesn't have a cheat day coming up,
how many calories
Just
do
go
you think
grab
is in one of them cupcakes?
there's a lot, but it's worth every one
Over
of them.
under 250.
Over.
Really?
It's a cupcake, bud.
In one.
Ooh, we should ask.
Oof.
I'll try to get some nutritional
Oh.
data for you on the cupcakes at A Cake Come
Oh.
True. But we're happy to partner up with Lisa and A Cake Come
Yes,
True.
very
So go
excited.
check her out.
Yep.
Mention Bake the Cake. We're gonna for our next episode. I'm gonna zone in on what we actually
What
can
do you-
offer.
yeah.
What do we get?
What do you get?
So, but try it out.
Yeah.
Definitely mention that you heard about her and what she's doing here on Bake the Cake.
Yeah.
We love having you guys listen. Follow us on Instagram, Bake the Cake Pod. Follow us on YouTube, and that's Bake the Cake Podcast.
Send us an email.
That's the only weird one.
Yeah. Send an email.
Yep.
Is it at Bake the Cake Pod?
No, it's just Bake the Cake Pod at
Bake,
gmail.com.
I always say at for the
You
email.
do.
Sorry.
You do. It's okay.
Bake the Cake Pod at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I got a message this past week on the direct message on the old Instagram from one of our listeners.
Nice.
A lot of questions coming in. Here's the beautiful thing about this podcast.
Yeah. We have created some conversation.
Yes, and I like it. It's
been
good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been really
It's
good.
challenged me and some of my thinking as well.
Yeah.
So I actually had coffee with a gentleman last week. Had a couple people over the last couple of days reach out with messages like, "Hey," because here's what happens: you listen to the podcast and eventually you start coming up with your what if questions.
Sure.
Well,
But what about this?
but what about this? Or what if And it's good because it keeps making you think.
Yeah.
Keeps making
Agreed.
you think.
Yeah, I agree. This concept is probably one of the hardest things that I've ever tried to live out on a daily basis. Can I say that?
Sure.
I mean, because it is not something that just comes naturally. At least to me. I think that for most humans, that this idea of loving everyone all the time, in spite of the difference of opinions,
Yes.
doesn't come naturally. If you want Exhibit A of that, you can just watch the State of the Union address last night,
Oh my gosh, Joel Dill.
right?
Your friend Pelosi.
Yeah. BFF, Nancy.
Good old Nancy.
Yeah.
Just ripping
Do you
ripping
know,
the paper, dude.
She was not baking the cake. It did not seem.
That's not baking the cake?
That is not.
What is
that? Is
that?
not baking the cake. That was. Oh, that was rude
Listen,
and uncomfortable to watch.
I know we're not going to have a lot of unit. This is why, this isn't a political podcast,
no,
but I'm just telling you, dude, I don't think that's the way.
no, I don't. I don't
Is that
care
the
how.
way?
I don't care how you feel about our president right now.
He didn't shake
The-
her hand at the beginning. Little,
Right.
I wish he would have. I
don't-
wish he would have.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
like,
but I wish he would have.
it's kind of like, hey, you're raking me over the coals right now. Now he didn't bake the cake. Okay, I'll go there.
Yeah, he should have shook the hand. But
Yeah,
here's the thing,
bake the
dude.
cake.
Just freaking shredding that paper at the end.
I mean, this
That lady's
is the,
gangster, bro.
Yeah, that's childish.
That lady's gangster.
Come on.
It does feel like middle school, doesn't it?
Yeah, that one did. That one did. That was
on a
different
national
level.
level.
That was a different level.
Got some middle schoolers up there.
Running our country.
My gosh.
But I will say that living that concept out on a daily basis is very very difficult. It's just it goes against the grain. What's the word that I want to use there?
Uphill?
Yeah.
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 Here's what I've honed in a little bit more, and I haven't gone back and listened to our other episodes where we're chatting about this principle a lot. So we may have brought it up there a little bit, but I doubt as much as what I've been thinking about it, because in my conversations, I think this is. I mean, there's multiple tensions in the conversation, but I think this is a big one I'm about to say. I think it's really hard for folks, and maybe this is what you're trying to say, because you have convictions in your life, and so do I.
Yes.
We believe certain things to be true, and we hold to those things,
Yes.
right? This is a conviction of mine. We have these.
And I think everybody has convictions.
Yes, I think this is the ultimate tension. How and really how we define love. This is why love is a big deal, and how we define it, because and again, I think if you follow Jesus, you should go read John 13, John 15. Jesus keeps saying, "I'll know you're my disciple by how you love one another," and how you define that ultimately either brings more tension or relieves tension in how you love people out of your conviction. Because I think some people think that how you love compromises. If you choose to love somebody
And
who is different than you begin to compromise your convictions. And I think I was chatting with Mama Cody a couple weeks ago, and she said to me, she got back on the first time we talked about the idea of baking cake.
Yeah.
And she said to me, Matt, you got to understand, 30 years ago, there were preachers in the pulpit that were preaching the exact opposite of what you and Joel are talking about.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel good then, but that's what was being taught. This idea of the loving thing, right? And this is where there's a huge conversation. The loving thing that we were taught to do was this, and I look at those things and go, I don't think that's loving.
Right.
Why does you have to do that? And it's just anger. It's this. It's harshness.
Condescending.
It's and it's out of this conviction of
Right.
I'm right and you're wrong, and the best way for me
Yes.
to love you is to tell you
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Right.
And I think there's a good challenge in that, because I've talked to some people that come probably out more of that tradition. That's the church I grew up in.
Me too.
And
In a lot of ways.
there is something really scary, I think, for those folks when they hear us talking about, can you just love somebody
Right.
to love them?
Right.
And I don't think it's possible. I need to read my Bible more, but I don't think it's possible
Yes, you do.
to actually love somebody and compromise my conviction as a Christian.
Right.
I don't think there's a line there, and I don't know. It's
Well,
so
and this
hard,
is-
dude.
This is what we were talking about a little bit here. We've had several conversations around this because I think, and this is the beauty of it. Again, it creates a lot of tension just in our day-to-day lives. But what you said there about showing love without compromising convictions, that's what I see Jesus doing time after time, story after story, in all four of the Gospels. He consistently loved people that were outside of what the Jewish culture would have said required love, right? He was hanging out with tax collectors. He was letting, prostitutes
Wash his feet.
wash his feet. He was standing up for the lady who had committed adultery. I mean,
talking to the woman at the well.
That's right.
I-
Time after time, he showed love, and so I think you're right. There's a way that we have to think about love and understanding. I can love someone and still maintain conviction.
Yes. And can we more times than not love first without even bringing up conviction?
So
why?
Yeah, so that brings me to something.
The approach.
Yeah, and what the society we live in today, the social media ruled society, right? What I think I just saw yesterday, the day before, it's something like 15 years since Facebook launched.
Wow.
Right? So in the last 15 years, we've become this society that has mistaken followers for influence, and we interchange followers for relationships. So just because we have followers, we think we have influence to speak in life without building relationship, and I think that comes back to this whole idea of showing love first. Yeah. We jump to here's my conviction without taking the time to build the relationship to actually be able to speak into somebody else's life.
I share a conviction when nobody's asking me. That's the problem.
Right. Well, I can. It's very easy.
Yeah,
I can do it on any platform, and I can hide behind a keyboard, and no one actually. Someone can confront me, but I don't have to read their comments or anymore. I can just not allow anyone to comment.
Yeah. So just one thought that I'm confirming in my own mind and heart.
Okay.
And I think I'm settled on this.
Okay.
I think I'm landing in this.
Wow. This could get hot.
Yeah. Well, this idea of bake the cake, it's an ongoing conversation.
It definitely is.
And I just love I love having these conversations with people. But I'm going to say this. I think that my presence, where I go and where I go and where I am, my presence does not compromise my convictions.
Yeah.
And I say that because I think there are some folks, there's certain scenarios that people have brought up to me and said, well, what about this? Would you go here and do this? And would you, and I think in my life, when it comes to baking the cake, I think one of my principles is, I think one of the ways that I identify love, when I go, how do you know love when you see it? I think when I read the scriptures, one of the ways that Jesus loves people is that he is willing to be close.
Yeah.
And
the mess.
And he gets dinged for that a ton. You mentioned some of that. He's having dinner with a tax collector. Yeah. You can't do that. He's a sinner. We thought you were this. So I think in my thought process of loving people, I want to be as close to people as I can. Rather they think like me, act like me. I want to fight to be close.
Yeah.
And if people are going to ding me for that,
yep.
I can't believe Matt's hanging out with that person, or I can't believe he had dinner with those folks, or I go, well, I think I'm on the right track. If I'm fighting to be, I'm not compromising conviction, right?
Right.
Why can't I hang out with folks? Why can't I be close to people that are far different than me? I go, what a win as a follower of Jesus. Now, what we're doing, right? I think we know I may have lines and you may have lines about what I will and won't do. And I can be with people who may be doing things that I don't want to be doing. But I still think for me, I want to live in that tension and go, I want to live a life where I'm close to people. Because I think that communicates love. And I think in the Christian world, a lot of times we determine that by, this idea of loving is, I'm going to tell you my conviction and you're wrong and I'm right. And I'm going to build this wall. I'm going to create distance between you and me.
Yeah.
And so you stay over there and I'm stay over here. When you get your crap together, then you can come over here.
That's
but
right.
until you do that, then you're going to stay far away. And I don't want to get into whole homeschool or private school, but this is what we do in a Christian culture. We start creating these environments, and you're out and we are in.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying,
because we should live in the world and not be of the world.
Yeah, and I'm just going.
That's a popular verse that gets laid down in that situation right there. And I don't know if I agree that that's the right context.
And I'm not talking about losing your base, right?
That's right.
Bible talks about, listen, you want to be wise, hang out with wise folks, right? Fools hang out with fools. I'm not saying I'm going to surround myself with people and that's it, just be around foolish folks.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think I can be a Christian
And be close.
and be close.
I agree. Now here's the thing that I would use as a check. Okay.
Okay.
Now if somebody just sees me out and they're like, why is he with that person? Why, like, does he even know? Or why is he there? Why did he go there? And they don't know me, I don't listen. But if you were to come up to me and you're like, hey, what? Because you know me and you know my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and you start to speak into me because you've taken the time to build a relationship here, I think that allows you, or vice versa, to say certain things to each other that can keep each other in check, right?
Yeah.
So hey man, I don't know. Did you think about this before you did that, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we did, maybe we didn't, right? But I think again that comes back to so the whole bake the cake concept. It's very dynamic. Is something that we're trying to get down. But I think one of the keys is we can be close.
I'm fighting to be close
and not compromise our convictions.
Yes.
I think that the sooner anybody can come to the same or something close to that conclusion, the better off they are.
I think when you have people who start going, I thought
there's a freedom here.
Yeah.
In realizing that I can do things and I can let some people talk about me and they don't if they don't know me, that's they can't compromise my convictions.
Right. No, because I determine my own convictions.
That's my convictions.
You can't. Yeah.
The other thing that I want, right? Because I think we do that though, right? We let somebody else speak in and like start to compromise our convictions.
Yeah.
And they don't even know us.
Yeah. I'm fighting to be close. I'm just holding on to that. I really want to fight to be close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, jumping backwards a little bit, but we've gotten some good conversations going.
Yeah.
Around what bake the cake looks like.
Yeah.
I love the convictions piece because I think that plays a huge role.
Yeah.
This message that you got today and you passed along.
Yeah.
Can we say who it's from?
Yeah.
It is Janelle Akins, right?
Yeah.
Out of Iola, Kansas.
I don't know if she actually lives in Iowa.
Oh, well.
Maybe she lives in one of the neighboring towns, but she's there.
Oh, man.
She's friends with our friend
That's what I was going for.
Jared Ellis.
The homilist.
The homilist.
You kind of crunched on that, but
and
that's
let me tell
fine.
you something. You need to go check out the homilist these days.
Yeah.
Because that dude is
on fire right now.
wow.
Yeah.
If you're a guy,
Yeah.
you
Order
need
a
to,
man.
you need to go listen to his
Ooh.
podcast. Get into some real
Whew.
stuff.
All right. Yeah, he's crossing. Anyway, okay. So Janelle, she gives us some things to chew on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to go read the entire message here, but
It's
I'm
a
gonna pick
conviction. It's a what if conviction question.
Yeah. So she asks, curious your thoughts on supporting spending or slash spending money on something like Nike, even though their spokesperson is a huge controversial figure. I believe she's talking about Colin Kaepernick there.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
Janelle, I'm sorry if I misunderstood that. Or what about Netflix, who is talking about not doing work in Georgia because of a ban on abortion, law that's being considered in that state.
Oh, wow.
So what her question is, if she says, I feel like we have to be aware of our surroundings and who we may unknowingly support with the mighty dollar, as those companies are pouring money into groups that go against everything we might stand for. Right? So how do we navigate that in terms of bake the cake?
Oof, so good, dude.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I was thinking about this tonight before we did this and was chatting a little bit with Josie about it, and it's tough. It's tough, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, I think the quick conclusion that I came to is that if I was to go through and basically boycott, more or less, every company or every person that doesn't align with all of the things that I believe in, I probably ought to just live in a bomb shelter. Right? Because everybody is going to have, literally, even you, one of my closest friends, we have differing opinions.
Whoa.
and we believe there are things that we believe differently on.
Yeah.
Like football. We watched the Super Bowl together, and you couldn't. I mean,
goodness.
You couldn't have had two completely different.
I don't understand how a man as bright as you can come to some of your opinions in football.
Likewise.
Wow.
Likewise.
You're one of the smartest dudes I've ever been around, who immediately
just goes dumb.
Oh,
when we
dude!
watch
As soon as we start talking football,
yeah,
it's amazing.
But I think that's, and so when in the terms of this, do I worry about supporting Nike in terms of this, or worry about supporting Netflix because of that? I think it comes back to Mary Coffee, right? Am I going to let the actions that Netflix takes as a company offend me and drive my decisions? You're not agreeing with me right now, I can tell.
I'm not agreeing with you.
But I think that's where I head. Is I go, I'm not going to choose to let my life be ruled by the actions of a company acting in what they feel is the best interest of their business. Now, I don't agree with not doing work in Georgia because of a ban on abortion. That would be a reason to do work in Georgia for me. If I had a company.
What if
But I also enjoy entertainment. Right?
Okay,
So
yeah. What if the company is actually using their dollars in a way that is compromising conviction? For example, let me just throw something out.
Yeah.
I don't know if but this is why people were losing their you-know-what with Chick-fil-A a couple of months
marbles.
ago. Marbles. A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Because they were using their dollars in a way that some people didn't like, and some people were calling for the boycott of Chick-fil-A.
Not only were they calling for it, they did it.
Yeah. Which they just turned out to be stupid because they didn't have all the information, in my opinion.
Sure.
Because they were still accomplishing. I mean, they were helping a lot of really good organizations.
Right.
I mean, in my mind, it's like Nancy up there just ripping stuff, looking stupid.
Right.
Okay? But what if Nike, I think there's some questions here like, well, is Nike, how they do business? Do they have sweatshops around the world? Are they, blah, 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 and all that? There's that. I think there's also the question of, well, what if Nike was using some of their earnings to fund something that would definitely be against what we are for? Okay?
Like be more explicit with that example. So Nike, or do you want to use Netflix? Netflix could be using some of their earnings to lobby against an abortion ban in Georgia.
There you go.
Okay.
I can understand how I might go because, dude, let me tell you something.
Yeah. We
about to get in, I've been working the last 2 weeks on a money series that's coming up.
Oh,
I'm teaching.
Okay. Gonna be good.
It's hitting me hard. Hit me different in the money world. This idea of being a manager, that's immediately what I start thinking of. Because I do think,
yes,
if we're talking about money,
yes,
I am accountable for how I manage it.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if I get to heaven if Jesus is going to look at me and go, bro, how in the world could you spend $6.99 on Netflix when you know darn well they were using that money to advocate against, or advocating for abortion? I wrestle with this one a little bit. I can
tell.
Because money is involved. Money's involved.
It is.
And my desire to be close. Here's the thing. I don't know anyone who works at freaking Netflix, dude.
Well, let me flip it around. At the end of the day, can you find a clean company?
Okay, that's the other thing.
So,
I totally get what you're saying.
If your hunt is to find only, you could probably do it, but you are going to exhaust yourself, and for what?
Okay, so listen. But this is what we do.
Because you're trying to put your convictions onto that company.
So right now, my retirement account.
Yeah.
I can do that as a pastor. I can put money in and try to retire one day.
This feels like a novel concept for